Hey everybody, it's Anna. Welcome back to my art channel and to my painting studio. Today I'm going to talk about this resin mixer. So this is from ISTOYO. I don't know if that's how you say the name. That's what it looks like. Cordless resin mixer. So if you do a lot of resin work, or if you use mica powders in your painting and you get tired of just stirring all of the powders in, this might be something that you find helpful. So let me open it up and show you what's inside. All right, so we've got the manual. We have the handle motor. And then looks like we've got 4 different mixer sticks. And I think these are all the same. Yeah. I think they're just, if you have different projects and you want to keep them separate, or if one of them gets too messy or broken, you have replacements. So that's great. So then this handle here, looks like the back unscrews, and it takes 4 AAA batteries. Here we go. 4 batteries, and then it goes right back in there. Okay. Okay, so then our power button, we've got, looks like clockwise and counterclockwise. So instead of having to hold the button the whole time, you just put on the switch. You hear that? And off is the middle, and then it goes the other way. So let me attach one of these. It is really easy. It's just line it up, stick it in, and it clicks. And to take it out, you just pull. That's easy. All right, so we got it clicked in. All right, let's try clockwise. And counterclockwise. That's great. I'll show you this way so you can see how fast. So it looks like it spins plenty fast enough to get a good mix, but not so fast that you're going to be like frothing up your resin. What I like is I like that it's flat bottomed and has sort of flat sides, so that as you're mixing in a cup, it'll reach all the way to the bottom and you can scrape the sides as you go along. So this is just designed to make it easier to mix without getting your hand really tired, because with resin you have to mix it for several minutes. So that is this ISTOYO resin mixer. And I will show you how I use this, mixing some actual resin. Let me show you what project I'm going to be doing. I just got these in the mail. These are from Let's Resin. That's the resin company that I use. These are domino molds. So these are nice because they're pretty stiff. They're not super floppy, but they're still plenty flexible to get the dominoes out. But yeah, I'm excited to try this out. So I'm going to be making like 3 color dominoes, kind of blue and green with some white in the middle. I saw an example of somebody doing something like that and they looked really cool. So I'm going to be making these, and I'm going to be using my Let's Resin epoxy resin starter kit. So that's the resin I'm using. And the different cups, I've got 2 of these cups because these trays, each one holds about 4 ounces of resin. So I'm going to make 9 ounces because I want to make sure that I have a little bit more than enough. And these cups, the measurements only go up to 8. So I'm going to do 2 cups for mixing. And then I've got some alcohol inks, different brands. I've got this, which is a nice kind of light blue, almost a tropical blue, but not quite turquoise. Then I have this green, just nice teal green, and then I've got some white, so that's going to go in the middle. And I'm not going to color them super opaque. I want them to be still kind of transparent, and then I'm going to be adding some gold glitter and some mica powder. This is olive chameleon powder, also from Let's Resin. I love their color shifting chameleon powders. So this one is like for a big gold sparkle, and this is for a small sort of greenish gold sparkle. It looks white, but the sparkle, do you see that? It's kind of yellowish gold. Really pretty. So I'm going to be putting both of those into the blue and the green, none in the white, and hopefully that'll make a really great twinkly, sparkly effect. So I will see you in my garage where I'll be all set up for doing the resin, and let's go there next. All right, here I am. I'm in my garage. I've got my domino molds. I've got my resin mixer, and I've got my epoxy resin part A and part B. And you will notice that I am in a full protective suit. Safety is super important when you're working with resin, because even if you don't have a reaction right away, that doesn't mean that you won't develop a reaction over time, and they can be very severe and threatening to your health. So definitely make sure you're in a well ventilated space and your skin and eyes and lungs are completely covered and protected. So as I mix the resin, this is a 1-to-1 resin mixture. So I started out with the part A to half the amount in each cup, and then I added the part B up to exactly half. And now it is time to mix up the resin. So I've got my resin mixer, and I'm going to put it straight down in the cup. You want to have it in the resin before you turn it on, otherwise it'll pull a lot of bubbles into your mixture. And then just turn it on and mix it around. Make sure you move up and down through the cup so that you're mixing the upper layers of the cup and the lower layers of the cup. I like to rub it all the way on the bottom to make sure that there's nothing that's left on the bottom surface of the cup, and I'm also rubbing it around the sides of the cup so that there isn't a single place of unmixed resin or hardener. So then I'm just going to keep this up for a couple of minutes. For a typical resin mixer stick, you'd want to mix it for 3 to 5 minutes. With this, I only needed to do it for about 2 minutes, and I feel like I got quite a good mix on it. So that's a real benefit with this resin mixer. Now it's time to mix up the next cup. So I'll just do the same thing. Put it in, turn it on, mix it up. And something that you can't see as much because it's out of the view of the camera is every 30 seconds or so I'm switching the direction that the mixer is turning, just to really help it get a really good blend of those two chemicals together and get it fully incorporated. Okay, when the mixing is finished, which is 1 or 2 minutes on each cup, then pull it out and let the resin kind of drip off of the mixer, and then I use an alcohol wipe to just wipe the extra off of the mixer stick. And it doesn't matter if you get every single bit of the residue off, all you have to do is a basic cleaning. Alright, now I've got some little cups here for some additional colors. And these also came in my epoxy resin starter kit. So I'm making 2 little cups, I don't know, they're about 1.5 ounces each maybe. 2 little cups of white, and then I'm going to do 2 cups of another color of blue. Alright, so now I'm using some white alcohol ink to color this little cup of white resin. The ink actually wants to stay up high on the surface, so it takes a little bit of work to mix it all the way in. And it looks quite white and milky. It actually dried more transparent. So you need a lot of white ink if that's your only tint to make a white resin. If I did it again and I wanted a really opaque white, I would probably also add some white mica powder. Okay, now I'm adding some gold glitter to each cup. So I'm using a little measuring spoon, some gold glitter, and then some of this chameleon powder, mica powder into into each cup of the blue so that they all have the same sparkle in it. All right, first color is this sort of dark blue. So I'm just doing a few drops of the alcohol ink into each of these little cups. Now, if you're doing a big cup, you could use the resin mixer to incorporate the color and the glitter and all of that together. Since I'm doing little cups, I'm just using popsicle sticks. So this is a beautiful color. It takes a bit of mixing to get the glitter and the chameleon powder incorporated into the resin, but eventually it is possible. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Gorgeous. All right, now I'm going to mix the second little cup of blue. Got that. Time for my other blue. This is for a lighter blue, more of a tropical kind of turquoise blue. So I'm mixing that up as well. And I'm realizing pretty quickly that that blue color is lighter than I want it. So I'm going to add some more blue ink here. And try that again. No, it's still too light, so I'm actually adding some of the darker blue, just a drop or two. Okay, that looks better. And then for this next one, I'm adding the green alcohol ink, but that's not showing up very well either, so it's this really pale kind of gold green. Still a really pretty color. All right, so I've got dark blue, I've got turquoise, and I've got this sort of yellowish green, and here's how I'm doing the dominoes. So this turquoise color is what I'm using for my even numbers. So I'm just experimenting with a few right here at the beginning where I'm going to put one color down and then add a little bit of white in the middle, kind of as separation. And then I'm going to add the other colors in. So the dark blue is kind of my tiebreaker color. So it goes in an even space along with another even. And it's going to go in the odds along with another odd. And then this greenish is my odd color. Yes, it was a complicated system and I worked it all out on paper, but the dominoes turned out amazing. All right, so each one is kind of two color, but then you have to keep adding in the right color of resin to fill it and make the level higher. As you'll see at the end of the video, it is very important that you fill your domino molds all the way up to the top. I didn't quite do that, and you'll see what that looks like at the end of the video. All right, once you've got your colors and the level the way you like it, then I took a toothpick and I just sort of swirled this white back and forth just so that it wasn't kind of a solid white line. It ended up shifting and the design shifted somewhat, and so the swirl, getting an exact pattern was not super important. But the point is to kind of break up the lines and make it look like flowing water. All right, now let's pour out the rest of this row. Since it's all the zeros, I'm using all the turquoise color to start. And just as before, a little white in the middle, and then I'm alternating the other two colors. So once you've got your flow down, just keep on going with the rest of the dominoes. You want to work fast enough that your resin doesn't start setting up and getting too sticky, especially if you're working on a hot day. This was a hot day for me and my resin. It almost got too sticky by the time I was finished, but it didn't, so everything was fine. But yeah, it helps if you kind of work in batches that all have the same color at the beginning, and then you can kind of alternate the colors, or you don't have to alternate colors. Feel free to do it however you want. Once you've got all of the colors sort of started, then make sure you pour in little bits just to really fill those molds and make sure that you have enough of each color that your center line is kind of balanced. All right, there they are. I'm all done and they're looking super cool. So I'm just pulling out my little bubble level and checking to make sure that my table is flat. Then I'm wiping off some of the resin residue so that I can cover it with a clean plastic bin and leave it for a few hours until it's ready to cure. All right, here they are. It's been about 8 hours and I've pulled them out of the molds. Oh my goodness, they're so sparkly. I love how these turned out. All right, I will show you how they look when they are all done, and I've painted the numbers. So here are the finished dominoes. It's been a couple weeks since I made them, and I've gone ahead and painted in the dots there. So you can see how shimmery and beautiful those are using the glitter and mica powders. Now I will say I did not fill the domino molds quite all the way to the surface. And you can see there's a bit of concave surface here. So definitely if you're using a resin mold that needs to have a flat surface, make sure you fill it all the way to the surface. Because if you try to think, I'll just make them shorter, the resin will kind of slide up the side and make that concave look. But they're amazing. They're beautiful. And this wooden box holds them perfectly. This is just a cigar box from the craft section at Walmart. So this is the perfect size for these Let's Resin dominoes. So if you're looking to make like a gift set, this is a perfect way to store them. But definitely, if you're doing a lot of resin, this ISTOYO Cordless Resin Mixer Pro, this is a massive help. It was so much easier using this mixer to mix the cup than standing there stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring. And it actually speeds up the process, because if you're stirring by hand, you know, they say like stir for 3 to 5 minutes, because that's like one stick, one paddle mixing. With this, it's 5 blades. You know, so it's like 5 times the action. Now, I'm not saying that you should only mix it for 30 seconds. I still try to mix it for a good, like, 2 minutes. But you don't need to mix it as long when you're using this, because it does a better job a lot faster. So this is an excellent investment if you're doing a lot of resin work, or if you have trouble stirring for a long time, because you could use this with paint. You could use this if you're mixing mica powders, or even just any color of paint that you want to mix up and not stir for a really long time. This resin mixer would be a great thing to get. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful for any of you that use resin or do a lot of paint mixing and are looking for something to make your job easier. Be sure to come back to my channel and check out some of the other tutorials. I have more resin stuff coming up soon, as well as a bunch of new painting tutorials. I hope to see you at the next video very soon. Bye!